Okay, shall. Very quick 5 minutes. Wait. Can we see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just quick, Will, I want to go on solutions, which is part of sales for me. So I decided to answer your questions directly on a small 7 slide sheet. So what I'm doing is bringing We Know Sports, a group chat to life. My name is Doncho Detroit Hunter. I am from LA. Dad is from Detroit. So that's where that comes from. I would like to venture in solutions, cloud work, AWS, and the sports industry. My language is Python. And again, my intent is to bring a group chat to life with a personalized experience per the comments and just, so with the concept, and I'll try not to get this verbatim, but it's just an experience between you and your friends that you have um, to bring it into a more noticeable way to where everything is noticed right up front. Um, Pretty much in an ESPN style fashion, but for whatever it is you want to use, whether you're into where it's the task manager, whether it's the golf, HGTV projects, I wanted to have it there on the forefront. So when you log in, you can see it. As an example, Discord, when I log in, sometimes I got to scroll too far high and I miss stuff because I got to scroll up. So I was trying to remedy that. The features that I will have in this app will be login registration, social media style homepage, create your own very sports take, view all posts, use a login with the ability to edit, delete, and post with the ESPN style marquee comments and presentation with APIs and database. My pitfall, to answer that directly, I did start this project in Django. I was under the impression that I did Python and Flask and I had to do something completely different. That's what my last instructor told me. So I started in Django and I spent about a week and a half trying to do it in Django before I found out somebody else was doing it in Flask. And so I scrapped the whole thing. So I was not able to get the APIs working, but I was able to replicate what it is I wanted and give a semblance of that. I did attempt to create a search box so you could pick your favorite team. I did fail at that. And some other issues that I had were some CSS issues because I wasn't the greatest to begin with. But because I started a little late coming from Django, try to get back, it didn't work. And trying to figure out the scroll bar thing was kind of a weird. But the impact of why I wanted to do the APIs was, for me, it's important to learn how to do that so that you can help not only develop APIs and website faster, but learn to think on a continuum. I feel like if I could write an API, I could solve a problem. And if I feel like I could solve a problem, that would make me useful. And so the code I use is Python, function class message, structure, some CSS. I did learn how to use a WebKit, which helped me function with some images, some transitions in the color. I use validating emails to hash password. And so, I will go to that. So I am scatterbrained and I am late. So we got login and registration. These work. First name, last name. If we just click that button, first name, last name. Just if we just click that button, we can register here. We go usual again. Uh, Will, Cal, Will at Cal, and then give you a basic password. I don't know. I don't think I think I missed this spot. Invalid email.
Yeah,
But
that was it. It's waiting for the .com.
oh, okay. Gotcha.
And no, like, you could just even make it, you could just do w@c.com. That's usually what I do whenever I'm testing. Is sorry, that's for the last
Last
name.
name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got it. W, you said W
At
C.
c.com. Yeah, it just kind of makes it faster. This is that was more for everybody. That was not a you thing.
Oh, okay.
I know that sometimes it's like hard to think of an email and you're like, what the heck? Oh, this
Yeah.
is awesome. This is really
Yeah.
cool.
So we're in, and if you notice at the bottom, it was very important for me to get a marquee going on it because
Wow.
sometimes we have a whole bunch that we want to see, and like much like in Discord, you miss a lot of stuff. So everything that's commented there comes across in the marquee. At the bottom, we have We Know Sports. It's a take show. You have a good take, you had a bad take. I had a whole point system there. Didn't quite go the way I wanted. As you can see, I'm logged in, just like on some of the other ones. I'm logged in as you will, but we can see these other posts. And so if I go to create here, sorry, again, the CSS was not my strong point. You can have the CSS, but what I did want you to notice is at the bottom, even though I didn't finish this bar, this down here
Oh, this is
says,
awesome.
you can speak your mind, it's the group chat. So it's a different setting for what you wanted. I do like baseball, so I started and aborted that. But like I said, I'm scatterbrained, so I did just want to show that it can be anything. We had a task manager in the beginning, and in that same very vein, what if you had more than one task and you had to, keep up with those? The marquee provides it the ability to come across and let you and remind you. Or what if you were on Google Maps and you needed direction? Sometimes we got to look down. But what if they were just scrolling left or right? So
Yeah.
I don't so apparently see Will is a scratch golfer.
Not even close.
Yeah, so we go there. It's gonna populate. The scroll bar I tried to figure out, couldn't quite get it to go all the way up past that. So I can't. So if you would be able to edit that. I can't, sorry. I went back. So let me log out and then log in. So I can now
Oh, cool.
edit. I can edit these. And so if I just want to go see it, I can click on this. Hey, I'm not a fan. The Giants are a bad organization. And
That's
so if
facts.
anybody wants to view that post, they could. We can go back here. And then the thing that was supposed to be my darling, but didn't quite work out. Well, actually, if we go to edit, let me go to edit. See, so my CSS is horrible. So I'm sorry about that. But like you said, that's facts, and then that should update with that. And
Mhm.
then we have the original line, which I wanted to do, which didn't quite work.
It's cool though. You immediately
Yeah.
integrated a video in here.
Yeah, I can mute it. The picture in picture works with it. I thought that was kind of sweet.
Wow, that's
Um,
really cool. How'd you do that?
it actually comes with the feature
Okay.
when you enter your video. So down here we have our Code and Dojo logo, and again, in this one it says it's presentation day. Brock Purdy, San Francisco 49ers,
Hmm.
NFL top 100, and then that's pretty much it. And then go back to the homepage.
Yeah. How did you do the all the scrolling text at the bottom?
So
Like the ticker.
yeah, so I learned keyframes. Keyframes in Python helps everything, which I'll go to CSS homepage. Where's my CSS? Sorry. It's not open. We'll scroll down at the bottom. The keyframes here allow for any type of scrolling or rotating or moving left to right. And then if we scroll up here, where are we? I feel like there's one more. Sorry, it's a lot that I used that didn't. So here, this is the marquee, and I can
Hmm.
control how long it runs, what the transition is, or whether it eases it in, even out. When I removed this gave me a lot of issues because I couldn't get it to stay at the bottom. But once I made it absolute, it was able to
Hmm.
go down to the bottom. And
Yeah.
then in here, so to get anything that I wanted, sorry, where is it? It's actually in info. Uh, where did we go? Yeah, so here uh we have the post in Ginger, which allows me to run. I could either text whatever I want in there, or and if I text something, it'll go through there, or whatever I put in Ginger will allow me to run that.
Yeah.
So whatever it is. And so
That's cool.
you could do plain text or whatever it is that's coming through that you're rotating.
Yeah. That's a really cool thing. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Sweet.
What a clever idea. Is that Stephen A. Smith and
Yeah.
Shannon, yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
it's just
funny.
because just when we log in, and I want to make it scalable
Sure.
for phone, obviously. But the main point is just when you have something log in amongst your friends, because social media gets kind of heavy. I don't know who this cat
Yeah.
is. I don't know who that is. And so when you log into a group chat, it'd be nice to see what everybody posted and just to have
Hmm.
them run through it for you. And that's for group chats, task managers of any kind, of anything. It could work.
Sure. Sure. Wow, this is a cool idea. I didn't even think about it, but creating a tool that just is social media for your friends' social media.
Yeah.
Like instead of, oh, did you see my TikTok or did you see my Instagram? This is just you get your friends and all of their accounts, and then it brings all of that there. And so you just have Will, and it's like my entire platform. That's a project. That would
Yeah.
be that's a
Now,
good.
now imagine logging in and then across our screen, we in the chat and we got to see you shot 78.
Yeah, that'd be sweet though. I mean, wow, that's a cool idea. Yeah, that'd be sweet. And all of a sudden and I wouldn't even have to tweet it or whatever. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And everybody know. And so
Yeah,
the last page was supposed to be live with the ESPN ticker and the bet ticker, but I couldn't figure out how to use the API.
sure.
And I was in Django for so long, stuck.
Yeah. Who told you had to do Django?
Well, the way Cameron said it was like, hey, I think when I talked to him later, he was like, he said, use it as a platform to show for your
Mm,
resume that you can do
sure.
other things. So I
Sure.
was like, all right. So I went to Django was the next thing that came up. So I tried that and then I just got stuck there.
Yeah.
In theory, it's easier because you just create a mini to many just with the words, with the model. But the database I didn't trust, it just didn't seem right. I could
Yeah. That's
that,
awesome.
that is that.
This is cool.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much for sharing that. Anybody have any questions? I think that's awesome. I really like the idea. I think it's something that you can continue, and I'd encourage you to continue to keep working through that because that's a fun thing with the friends and having hot takes. I love hot takes. I'm all about it.
I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Aside the styling and the Django problem, what did you think you felt was the hardest?
Uh, definitely the APIs. Now the replica of the ESPN part was hard because creating the bar and the transition of the bar. So you have all these things like WebKits and you don't know what they're really for. So
Yeah.
you gotta like play with them to figure it out. So once that happened, then I didn't know how to get it to come across the screens. So the keyframes and learning the gradient part, that was hard. I actually had an issue like I saw in one of your projects, or I don't know if it was yours, where you did the URL and the CSS.
Yeah.
I missed that completely, and that probably would have made it a little easier for me with the links and whatnot. Because the background, it took me even when somebody mentioned the background, I think it was the golf. It was hard
Yeah.
getting the background pictures in there. So once I learned how to do that background image and the URL link, then it was like a little easier and I could progress. But it was mostly the styling since it was pretty much what I was the worst at and just trying to find that part. But Google worked for me.
Gotcha. Very cool. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great job. Great job. Okay. Looks like we've got Nick. Nick, you're up next.
Alrighty. I'm right. I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
And
And let's try, sorry, I'm just looking. We got 50 minutes and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, really 5. So let's try to keep it 7 minutes ish, and then maybe we can get all 6 in if we need. So,
oh yeah, there's not that much here to show,
Sure.
I don't think.
okay.
Yeah, so this is Vinyl Share. It is basically just a record store. You got people posting vinyls right here. There's Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, Good Kid, Mad City, Dark Side of the Moon, and Plastic Beach. And I'm logged in as a different user right now. You can view them like so. There's the view page, and it shouldn't be able to edit them. Okay, that'll need to be fixed. Okay, the edit button doesn't pop up here. Okay, that's an easy fix. Anyway. Anyway, we can also upload our own listing right here. We're gonna do Travis Scott's Utopia. Just gonna copy the link to that. Utopia. Oh yeah, real quick. Just some validations.
Perfect. And would you write this in?
Java.
Okay, awesome. So do you have a
Yeah, so-
login and registration as well?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can go home to those too. Login, register, validations. Gonna log back into this real fast. Green beans. There we go. Okay. And upload image link right here. Utopia. Travis Scott is the music artist. Artist or band right there. Release year came out last year. Yeah, we'll do limited edition. And let's just do 50-50. Why not? And that is posted right here, Utopia Travis Scott, and you can edit or delete your own, obviously. And we can just edit the thing. Let's say it came out in 2021 and price is now 50.59. And the edits show up right there. And the big thing I added to this is this guy right here in the top right-hand corner, the money. So for testing purposes, each account's going to start out with 100. In the real world, they'll default to 0, obviously.
Sure.
But yeah, let's buy Good Kid, Mad City. That is now off of the table, and it took out the balance in the top right-hand corner right here. And if we try to buy Dark Side of the Moon, it will not let us because we do not have $80. We only have 65 right here. And if
Awesome.
we also go back into which one was it? It was test 1. Had that. And if we go back into this person's account right here, all accounts start out with 100, by the way. We can see, oops. There we go. We can see that the money went into this person's account right here, $134.35.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot more harder to program than I initially thought. That was probably over half of the project.
Sure.
The amount of time I spent. But
Yeah, that's cool though.
yeah,
Did
other
you
than
just do
that,
that in your, did you have like a balance in
Mhm.
your
Yeah,
database
so
and you just clicked it and said
Yeah.
whoever owns this, let's update their balance sort of idea?
yeah, I'm actually down to show the database real
Yeah, do it.
quick. Here's the users, and they got the account balance right here, username updated, password, email created at ID. Yeah, that's it for the users. Then here's the vinyls as well. I actually had to add this sold variable right here because I don't have a standard get all method as you saw. Hang on, let me drag this back up. As you saw, once we bought the vinyl, it it's not on the page anymore. That didn't exactly delete it. It's still in the database. What this
Totally.
method is showing is it's showing all of the records that are not sold.
Yeah. So you just
So-
did a 0 or 1 to treat it as a Boolean.
Yeah, basically just a Boolean, kind of similar to the limited edition as well. And also, here's this table right here, the transactions table. I needed this entire thing just to get money to work, and I didn't know that ahead of time. So
Mhm.
ID amount spent created at buyer ID, which just equals the user ID who clicks on buy, and vinyl ID, which is just the vinyl ID.
Mhm.
Amount spent just equals the listed price, so it'll take the amount spent out of the user's account balance.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that I wanted to add like a few more features like API having some like like the idea you gave me a few weeks ago. I think it was have like a preview right here, whatever. You can listen to it with the Spotify API, but this guy at the top right hand corner took so much of my time, you won't
Yeah.
even believe.
Yeah, I think this is a theme that I've seen. Just as a reminder, if you've got a many to many relationship, and in this case, you have that, right? You've got oops, let me go back on that. You've got, many people, or a transaction can have, or basically multiple users can sell something and multiple users can buy something. And so just as a
Yeah.
reminder, anytime we do a many to many, we have to have some sort of third table. That is what's going to hold exactly like what you did. I just more so am saying this because other people struggle with this. You have to have a third table that holds that information, and you had it as the buyer's ID and the vinyl ID. And that's what's associating, right? The many to many portion. It's associating who bought this and what did they buy. So that's just more so for anybody. If anybody else tried to do a many to many relationship, I've seen this a couple times come up here. So just wanted to kind of, if we haven't already talked about it, just reiterate, anytime you do a many to many, you need that third table. So great job. This
Yeah.
rules. I really like
I've
this.
never done many before either, so this
Mhm.
was also a completely like first time for me.
Sure.
took a lot of
Yeah.
work.
This is awesome. I see that Benjamin has his hand raised.
Yeah. Are we up to the questions part? Can we ask questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My question was, how did you get the cover art for each vinyl? Because I saw you stored it in your database too.
Oh
Briefly.
yeah. I think if I remember correctly, there was like a whole way to do it with like static resources where you could like upload actual image files or whatever. I didn't do it that way. I did like an easier way that kind of just takes like a URL link and it goes by that pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this website right here just has like, whatever cover you really need. You just type it
Yeah.
in and made testing so much easier.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
That's a great way to do it. The only downside of that is you are dependent on whoever's running that other one. So if their site goes
Right.
down, when you do that URL, you're not going to have that image. And so
The
that's
site
where
actually
people,
happened once while testing it. I thought I broke something. I was like, oh, the
Yeah.
site's just immediately down. That's hilarious.
yeah. So I just more so say that for anybody who else did the URL, that's fine. It works as long as that URL is there. If that URL goes away, they change the image, they put even something bad, right? Some sort of bad image gets hacked. Your website will show that. And so that's why people will also just be like, you know what, I'm going to be in charge of hosting this entire thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I actually wanted to test out. Oh yeah, this part right here. I don't know why the money will sometimes do this where it goes into a decimal like this because it is just a subtraction equation.
know.
It should just be a subtraction equation. But yeah, as far as things where I just couldn't figure out what was happening or why, this was one of them.
Yeah.
After buying a few things, the decimals just get all screwed up and I don't know how to fix it, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you could just do like, I don't know, off the top of my head, Java, but you have like math.floor. There's things that you can do to basically change those decimals. And so to say, hey, just round up here, right? Like all that needs to happen this is a rounding error.
Gotcha.
I don't know why it's doing that, but there might be a built-in Java tool like math.floor to kind of just fix that and say, okay, I only want 2 decimals here.
Right. I mean, if it was like division or something, that'd make more sense, but
Sure.
I'm just
Yeah, I don't know why that would have that.
I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
happy I got it to work in general.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great job. Really great. Okay, we got Ben Parks next.
Alrighty,
RPG time.
that's right. Alright, can we all see it?
I'm excited.
Yeah. Whoa, this rules already. I like it.
Well, it lives up to its name. It is
Ah,
very
sweet.
simple. So I did this with JavaScript. So all we don't have users or anything like that, but we can create characters. And simply, now the one thing I don't like is everything's based off of checkboxes. I would like to be able to eventually just highlight a character, have it highlighted, and then hit create. But for now, I got these tiny little boxes. But we can create it, We can view them. Character shows up with the name up here. We can remove, view, edit, make her a thief. I have to get that working. And now Jennifer Pancakes is a thief. We can go back to the home page. We can now we can either update it directly from here, or we can hit the start button. And way down here. So we got the three basic functions. We can attack, we can heal, attack, and I got it set up where there's a counter. So every time you get 2 attacks, it unlocks the special, which should be a heavier hit, which wasn't this time. Attack, and we win. Now I haven't gotten it where if either of these health bars actually reach 0, it automatically populates to the end game screen. But let's see if I can lose. There we go. And game over. So it's very simple, very quick.
This is awesome though.
I had a lot of fun with it, and I had a lot of headaches with it. Getting everything to scale correctly, because I'll show you. If I do this, everything still stays within that same, oh crap, is it doing that again? Hang on. We can quit. What's going on? It shouldn't have done that. Now it's working. I don't know why I did that. That warrior shouldn't have been on there. But real quick, real simple.
This is
But I had
great.
a lot of fun with it.
Hey, that's what it's all about. That is
Yeah.
literally what it's all about. It's just having fun.
Now, I did start looking at what it would take to actually animate a sprite during the
Mhm.
attacks.
Mhm,
And it's a whole sprite sheet, getting
mhm.
you have to get canvas up and going, actually map out each of the sprites, cycling through them. And at the time, getting everything else going is like, I could probably spend 5 days just getting sprites working for both of these things.
Sure,
And
sure.
then I had 3 different characters to do it. And it's like, that's a future
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, this is awesome. This is really cool.
Should try and build this in Game Maker. Game
Yeah.
Maker's pretty cool.
I would like to start playing around with Unity too, but we'll get to that point eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is fun. And I think the thing that I like the most about it is that you're like, I just had fun doing this.
Oh, I
That was anytime you can, that's a rarity too. So that's, I mean, not to say that everybody else didn't have fun doing their project, but it's hard to be like, man, whenever you get sucked in, it's so good and also so bad, but you're like, oh my gosh, I love building this. That's a really good thing. And just keep riding that high. So that's
Well,
awesome.
thank you. Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with it, but
This is great. Anybody have any questions for Ben?
Are the damage amounts just kind of
They-
like randomized?
They are a little randomized, and that's why my big hit didn't really exactly hit hard. And you'll see my battle page is an absolute mess of stat.
Oh my
of state.
gosh.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And then I noticed that because each click has its own little thing going on, and I had to do it in a certain way because each one hits for different amounts. So I couldn't just set it a certain way, because you'll notice that the hit is less than what I have for the special.
Mhm.
And then I have it automated right now that when you attack, the boss automatically hits, which I would have to find a way to delay that if I'm going to do the animation cycle. So I'd have to also make it so that the player can't just spam attack and watch my sprites go absolutely crazy. And then the heal had to be separate from that as well. And then, like I said, automatic. Now, the one thing I did have, and you'll notice this here too, the normalized HP. And all normalized HP does is because I noticed all it does is reset player health to 100. Because I could spam the heal button and my character would have like 3,000 health while the boss only had 200. And it's like, wait a minute, that's not going to work. So I had to find a way, but unfortunately it only, and I've got it set for every one of them. And that's because if it goes over 100, it'll actually do the heal. And then my next selection will just normalize it back to 100, which is kind of a gimme, because even if the boss hits you below 100, it will reset it back to 100 on your next attack. So that's not exactly the best way to do it, but I'm learning. We're going to figure it out.
And there you go. That's all it's about. That's what these projects are, just
Yeah.
learning. There is a comment in chat of
Oh.
if you didn't want the little boxes, you could just do an on click. So maybe have like a piece of state or something like that of like character selected or something
Okay.
of that. And then whenever that image is clicked, maybe you have, you know, if this specific one is clicked, the warrior, let's say, or whatever.
Yeah.
Then that just is like, oh, cool. And then you can set the CSS to maybe have like a box that shows up that's highlighted. So you could see, oh, I clicked on this
Huh.
character and it's showing that,
Oh.
updates that. And then if they move forward and they say start, then that's what assigns, you know, that type. That's just an idea.
Yeah, I'll have to play around with that.
Yeah. This is awesome though.
Yeah.
This is really great.
Well,
Really
thank you.
fun. I can't wait to see it even more being worked on. So
We'll get it there one day.
yeah, for sure.
I would love to see an XP and leveling system in that, dude. That would be so sick. I would play that for hours.
Yeah.
I'd have to add in more than just the big bad boss guy though. But yeah,
Yeah.
that I was watching the tutorial. They actually went over how XP could be calculated the same way that you did the health bar, and it just fluctuate up like that.
Mhm.
So that'd be an easy way to do it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Well, thank you.
That's great. Cool. Mateus, I see that you are on break and are you good to share? Do you got a
Yeah,
little
I think
time?
I am. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, we can.
Okay. Yeah, it's been my first time sharing my screen, so let me know if it works.
Cool. It
Um,
might say you need permissions, and if you do,
Okay.
then you have to go give permissions, hop out and hop back. Oh, looks like it's working perfect.
Is it
You're
sharing?
A-okay.
All right.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just gonna start my server
No,
here.
You're fine.
Let me drag this. Sorry. Oh, did I type something wrong? Oh, sorry. Round down. Little nervous.
You're okay. You are A-okay.
All right, so I basically try to create like a website where you can kind of
You-
track your
Sorry,
fitness
when-
routines.
When
Huh?
you share, when you share the screen, you just shared your code. There should be, whenever you go to share
Oh, okay.
screen, it'll say screen 1, screen 2, or, you know,
Oh, there you
just
go.
show the VS code. So yeah,
Gotcha.
there you go. Whoa, this looks very professional. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's just basically a website where you can track like your fitness routines. Up here, I just make like a logo kind of like, and some placeholders up here. But can add something later. But it's a JavaScript. You can kind of register a user. Just gonna. And passwords don't match, you get the message, and it takes you to the dashboard where you can kind of log a basically like a workout routine.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put just say goal probably be like cut duration in months. I just put like 4 months. Calorie goal, just put like 2100 calories. Start weight, say 200 pounds, and your goal is to get to, let's just say 190. And you can come here and then create a routine, and there you
Oh, that's
have.
cool.
And you can kind of view it. Takes you to this page, and back to the dashboard. You can add it, so you can make, I don't know, weight gain. Instead of a cut, it can be a bulk. And you can kind of view it. Takes you to this page, and back to the dashboard. You can add it, so you can make, I don't know, weight gain. Instead of a cut, it can be a bulk. And you can kind of view it. Takes you to this page, and back to the dashboard. You can add it, so you can make, I don't know, weight gain. Instead of a cut, it can be a bulk. and duration 5 months. And here you're gonna gain weight, so 205. Can update, and then there you
Oh,
have
that's
it's
cool.
updated, and then you can delete it as well, and
Mm,
it's gone.
yeah.
And log out, and you can log back in. I have just a test account. If you don't have the right credentials, say the valid
cool.
credentials. If the username doesn't exist, also say user not found. I do need to add more validations. I can tell editing login registration with Mern, it was a battle for me.
Yeah.
So I spend most of my time doing that. But yeah, sorry, I'm kind of just running kind of quick through it.
No, you're good. This
But
looks awesome.
I appreciate it. I sent you a video. It's more like more
In-depth.
details on it.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
this is great. I really like the styling. A lot of people are saying in here too. The styling looks great. The My Fit looks like I literally thought that you just pulled up a random
I
page that I haven't
appreciate
seen.
it.
So this is awesome.
Yeah,
This
it's
is really cool.
it's one thing that I like a lot. It's the front end. I'm still learning a lot CSS, but
Yeah.
yep. hmm
Are you a big fitness person?
I mean, I was trying to find something that I could kind of relate to it, and my life
Sure.
is pretty simple, pretty boring, working a lot. So the only thing I do
Yeah.
other than work is work out. So I
Sure.
just use that. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. But hey, again, finding your passions, that's great. And I love that. There's lots of things you could do with that, and you can build onto this. This is awesome.
Appreciate it. I'll improve it. There's, like I said, I need to add more validations towards create and edit as well.
Mhm.
But I'm working on it. Yep.
Yeah, this is great. Hoptamu, you got a
Yeah,
gotta-
a quick question. This is awesome, by the way, Matthew. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
How did you figure out like relationship user with this Adam? The relationship, the login in.
There is so I watched the videos, the lectures that I think was week 7 with I wouldn't say his last name is Wilcox. I forgot his first name.
Okay.
Hayden.
It was Caden, and there's about three videos of about an hour, and I watched all of them. And also, I don't want to forget her name. Sorry, she helped me a lot. It's from our class. Sorry, 1 second. I don't want to butcher her name.
Oh, the T.
Crystal. Crystal helped me as well a lot. I want to give a lot of credit to her because she posted on the group that she was going through the same situation, kind of like. So she, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to do the login registration. So yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, it's very cool. I want to sign
Yeah.
up. When do you gonna launch it? It's nice.
I mean, I wanted to create something that I could actually use, but in order to do that, it would take me a lot of time. This is like pretty plain right now. I don't want to add a lot of things and be able to use it myself because I use whiteboards in my offices, so I can probably just use a website. But yeah,
Yeah, this is really cool.
thank
Really
you.
great job.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Stop sharing.
Awesome. Well, great job, my friend. Really, really awesome. And yeah, let us all know when you when it goes live. You got some gophers here. We're willing to test it. Test it
Thanks,
out.
guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
And thanks, Crystal.
course. Yeah, shout out to Crystal as well.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, Shane, you're up, my friend.
Sweet. All right. You guys ready to nerd out?
Always.
Share screen. Oh, it's my screen too. That's okay. Zoom is weird. It has my monitors backwards, but whatever.
Yeah, mine does that too.
All right, we see it.
Yes, sir.
All right. I may or may not have just added this, allegedly, but this is the Souls forums. You can't really read it because I have dark mode on. I didn't account for the light, so sorry. Bootstrappy goodness, register here, log in here. Validations are in place. Email address required. Password is required. I don't know why it refreshes like that. I'm sorry. But it does. I have some accounts set up already, so we're going to jump in. So this is a Dark Souls forum. Specifically, it could be Dark Souls or it could be any of the FromSoft games. In this case, Kermit here, Kermit123 has been stuck on General Radon again. And these are all the threads. You can see the author created at. I wanted so badly to format these dates to where they were readable, but Python hates me. And every time I tried to do it, it would break the entire project. And I was like, I hate you. Anyway, so we can dive in and view Kermit's thread here. Please come help me. My friends are all abandoned me. Password is Miss Piggy, and we can comment on it. And it looks like I already did. And I said, dude, just get good, Scrub Lord. And I can feel bad about myself, and I can delete my comment. And just like that, it's gone. And we can do another one. This show scares me, Kermit. That was from a different project, but you know, we can add delete comments only if we are the person who left them, of course. I have a thread I created. I said, dude, please help. So let's go check that out. Bro, I'm dying so much to Melania. Please send help. And that, to this day, is still true. I have not soloed her yet, so she sucks. We can also edit. So I can say edit and edit. And of course, validations are in place here too. We'll actually test that first. It's hard to see. It's really hard to see. I didn't account for this when I slapped the background in there. Sorry. But they are here. Please enter title. Please enter comment. And they pop back up, which I really like personally. Everything that was already there just pops back up for you. So it really helps. Edit. And we can see edit and edit. So there's that. Delete works too. I don't need anyone's help with Melania. I'm good. I've got her. She's gone. The coolest part to me, this was Python, by the way. I forgot.
You said that. You're good. You said Python hates you. So I
Oh, I did say Python hates me. I'm sorry. It's so much harder presenting this when you're like, oh, it's your turn. And before I was like just chilling. And now I'm like, no, I don't want to chill anymore. I'm scared. All right. So the part to me, I got points knocked off of my Python exam for using hidden inputs. In the create and particularly the edit form, I have since found the solution to that, and I got rid of all hidden inputs. So take that. I deserve my 10 out of 10 on my black belt.
Where to go? What did you do in its place?
So I'll jump into some code here, and we used the dictionaries
You got it.
like this, the form data, and we used a dictionary to capture request form, title, content, and from the session, we're grabbing the user ID. Whereas before, I was putting in hidden inputs to capture all of this information. Same thing with update. This is on create. And on update, we did basically a very similar thing. From the thread ID, we're actually capturing the thread ID from the URL on update. So that way we can just snag it, call it good. So took me a minute to figure that out. And I was driving myself nuts with it for a minute, but man, I'm happy it worked out. So, and kind of going back to what Will said a while ago, anytime you do many to many, you want the connecting table. In this case, it was super easy because we have users and threads. We connect them with comments. There you go.
Exactly.
And of
Thank
course,
you for making it look a lot nicer than my little dumb boxes. So this is
Nope.
exactly it, yeah.
yeah,
That's
no,
sweet too,
no
'cause I
problem.
boarded it. I knew I needed a third table, but I didn't know how to get it with everything. So that's sweet.
My younger brother, when he explained it to me, he told me all many to many is a 1-to-1 through a third connecting table, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now. Okay.
Yeah, in concept, when they were explaining it through the platform and the classes and everything, I was like, what are you even talking about right now, CISO? You are talking like a madman. And the platform too. And then I saw this and I was like, dude, it's literally just a connecting table.
Yep. That's all it is. That can have extra data, or it could just have, it's, just like this. All it has is a user thread, and then the one piece of data that we have is content. That's it.
Yep. We just have content and then we got our created at and updated at, and of course the primary key. So if you guys are wanting to try many to many, it's not that bad. You do have to bear in mind you will need a controller for it. So this is the comments controller. It just basically has some routes with comments, which is to create a comment and then delete one. So bear in mind that you will have to do that. And then of course your model will probably look something like this as well. Make sure your columns match, because if they don't, it's going to break and you're going to be really sad. Trust me, I've done that before. But anyway, what I really wanted to do here, I really so badly wanted to implement Twilio into this by creating a moderator program where I would have a different section and it would be like, hey, do you want to be part of our moderator program? Then go here and let's verify some ID, and you would punch in your phone number, it would send you a verification code, you'd verify, and then you would be a moderator, and the edit, delete actions would be available on all threads.
That's cool.
But that just turned out to be a whole different row in my user database, and it turned into a mess, and I was like, I can't do this right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I also am this close to having this deployed, but unfortunately Azure is being dumb. So
Yeah, as it can
Yeah.
be.
yeah. I have the whole CI/CD pipeline set up and everything, dude. I was so ready for it, and then yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, this is awesome. This is really,
Hey,
really great.
thank
I would
you.
encourage you to look at or thinking through just the date thing.
Mhm.
I don't know if you used like the date time dot shift time.
Yeah, I
string
was
format
trying.
time, like this sort of idea.
Yeah.
It's the
Okay.
string formatting, and then you can use different codes. And so if you just wanted just the day and the month or whatever, there's like an entire coding thing here. I'll put it here. And so whenever you're getting that data, before you send it out, or as you're looking at it, you can format it with this certain data. So I just sent that. It's a tutorials thing. It's got the whole.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That is probably exactly what I needed to do. I just ran out of time and I was trying to do a bunch of other stuff and life got in the way, and it's
Oh
just
yeah,
been
for sure.
chaos.
Yeah, it should help you, because then you can change it to, if you just want the day and the month, or if you want the day, the month, the year, or whatever you want, you can just kind of format it that way.
Well, yeah, I will be fixing that shortly. So
Awesome. This looks great.
thank you. One thing I love is keeping a nav bar on top, because that way people always know where to go if they want to log out, go to dashboard, whatever. So
Absolutely.
that's just my personal thing. But yeah, any questions, anyone?
No, this is great.
Sweet. Well, cool. Thank you guys for
Awesome.
allowing
Thanks so
me to
much for
share.
sharing that. Absolutely.
Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely.
I love the Souls games and
Yeah.
everything about them, man. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Colton, looks like you're up, my friend, and then we'll have Daniel, and then we'll be done. So we got 15 minutes to do 2 people, but if we go over just a little bit, that's fine.
Hello. I'll try and keep it kind of quick too. I have a bit
Yeah.
of a cold at the moment, so if I go
Oh, I'm
quiet,
sorry.
I'm muting to not hack in the microphone for everybody.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sorry. The summer colds are the worst.
Yeah, I've got a 4-year-old, so daycare is a problem. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, this is awesome. Well, it looks really cool.
Thank you.
Really pretty.
Midjourney was awesome for all of the images.
Yes, it was.
So this is my project. It's called Hatch and Hackle. I did it in Mern. So the trickiest thing I think was figuring out the login registration. But the basic idea is for fly fishers like myself to identify different patterns based off what kind of bugs are in the area. So when you're fishing, you can say, I'm seeing a lot of grasshoppers. I need to identify what kind of lure to use. Yeah, this is the landing page. It's a persistent top nav, and it was all styled in Tailwind too. So I'd used Tailwind CSS, and I used a component library called Daisy UI just to get like the basic ideas for some of the components, and then just expanded on them and kind of made them my own. I wanted to do like a call out card. I noticed on a lot of websites they have like a hero card up front that says basically this is the featured fly or featured lure, and that's this one here. And so this is just hard coded. It's a component that I just fed the actual ID from the MongoDB, and then it pushes through like fly name, fly type, and everything. But I also wanted it to have a different image than the actual pattern. So if I go to the actual pattern, it's a different description and image. So I just did a hidden input essentially, or like a hidden
Sure.
data entry point that just has like a hero image and hero description. And that is the hero card portion. And then below that is the match the hatch portion. So you can view all the patterns in the database by clicking here. And it just shows you the different lures that you could use or that are currently in the system. But clicking on any of these cards down here also filters those, pre-filters them before you get to that page. So if I'm looking for like a grasshopper or something, I can click on terrestrial, and it will just show anything that's considered a terrestrial or a caddis or anything like that. And then,
This is beautiful.
thank you. Tailwind is amazing. I geeked out on it really hard.
Yeah,
I got stuck
also-
for a couple days on just that portion of it.
Yeah, I'm really obsessed with your Hatch and Hackle. I think that's like a very cool name, and just the way you I mean, I'm like geeking out. It's just about your logo.
you.
I think it's
Oh, appreciate
awesome.
it. Thank you. Thank you. This is something I've been thinking of for a long time. So this is kind of like part of what pushed me to go into coding. This is just kind of a simple version of it. But yeah, so login also works. It does have validations. I'll do the register first. I originally planned to have this as a pop-up. I saw that there's a module called modal, I think, or model, something along those lines.
Yeah, it's a modal that'll just pop
Modal.
up. Mhm.
Yeah. So you could click on login, it would just pop up in the center, and that was my initial goal, but I just didn't have the time to figure it out. So, yeah. So all of the validations work here as well. And then if
I
do
love
like
that the
that,
validations inside of the input as well. Like the
yeah. So that's a lot of that is this Daisy UI. I was going through and just kind of seeing how they accomplished a lot of this. And like all of the data entry points, it's kind of like Bootstrap, but you can dive into individual components, I think, a little bit more detailed. So like yeah, I think I used some of these and just basically took this, put my own code into it, and then just kind of manipulated it that way. A lot of different
Yeah.
options for just the visuals.
Yeah, there's another one called Material UI that is really part of. It's a huge thing with React. It's probably one of the
Material
most
UI.
popular. So Material UI, but this, I mean, this is incredible. Tailwind's great, and Daisy UI
It's
is
fun.
awesome. But
I was
Mhm.
really geeking out about it, and plus I used Figma too. So I was,
oh, cool.
I do a lot, just some like for personal stuff. I've done a lot of like illustration stuff, and so I got into Figma and I geeked out in that. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. It tells you like the padding, and it tells you as you're
Mhm.
building it out, it says like it recommends 16 here and 32 here and 8 here.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
it really helps with the whole design thing. I tried to get
Yeah,
it
and-
as close to what I wanted it in the design first, and then translate that
Yeah.
into the actual.
Yeah, and anybody that doesn't know what Midjourney is just an AI image creator.
Yeah,
Um,
So all these
so
little
a lot of those
these pictures here are all AI.
just yeah, you just put in what you want. Is it still in Discord?
Yeah,
Is it still
I think
use
I
Discord?
think so. I don't know. I haven't checked the site in a long time. I think
Sure.
actually, I want to say I got a notice earlier this week that they have a browser version now.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I could
But
be
yeah, it
wrong.
just used to be in Discord. And you could see everybody's posts, and some were
Yeah.
weird. But
yeah.
well, these are
It does get a
beautiful.
bit odd, yeah.
Yeah, it does get a bit odd.
So let's just do like ABC 1, 2, 3 c@gmail.com. Now specifically how it go below needs to be 8. and now it's logged in. And if I go to the actual patterns, it'll show view for any patterns that this account didn't create. So I'm going to log out just to show the other portion as well. So there's view and edit if you actually created the fly. So I didn't create this one on this account. So there's no options to edit or adjust it in any way. But if I go in here, I have edit and delete options. And then the edit portion is just a form to edit. I was also going to do this in Modal as well, but ran out of time. The one thing that I think was trickiest, and I never really did figure out, but I kind of have a hunch now, is the image. I did mine the same way as before the URL thing. And I just put it on like a Google Cloud service and then could just take the URL from there. The one thing with that though is you have to put in a URL. I'd rather someone be able to do the file upload. And
Sure.
I'm wondering how to do that. My initial thought is you have them upload the file and then the file name goes to the database and then the file itself is stored locally. So it references the file name. I'm not sure if it would work that way, but
yeah, so a really kind of normal way to do it would be you would have like a either really like S3 buckets is what the majority of people
okay.
use
Yeah.
is just simple storage on Amazon. And so when it, as part of you saving it, you would save it to some sort of bucket. And then it's just, then you're just bringing in your database, you have the URL to
Yeah.
your self-hosted S3 bucket. And so
Yeah,
it's
okay.
still using a URL, but you're in charge of that. So
Sure.
you're not depending on other people. So that's kind of the main, some
Sure.
really
And
simple
that's
storage
kind of
that way.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was trying to figure out. And I spent enough time on it that I was like, I probably should move on at this point. But yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna work on that a bit more because I really want to figure that portion out.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And then the other thing that I kind of there's also you can filter here as well.
Oh.
And create your own doesn't exist if you're logged out.
Oh, that's cool.
But the other thing that I wanted to kind of figure out, I think, was if this is a feasible way of doing this, and I'll make it super quick because I know other people got to go. But when you're creating like a new fly, I passed in the user ID as a default value because the user's held in context. So I just passed the user ID, the default value. It's a no relation database. So I wasn't quite sure how to handle that. But I figured if I passed the ID and had it created by, all my ternaries could just go off the created by, and then
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if I was just like holding it together with paper clips, So okay.
No, that's fine. Cause then you could just, in theory, if you wanted to see a creator and follow a creator,
Mhm.
and whenever you're showing all the
yeah.
data, you're having all this, and maybe you just have like the creator and you can use this ID and maybe you make some sort of call to get all that information. So it could say like,
Sure, yeah.
creator Dontrell, and then you could click on it and you have access to that and you go to Dontrell and
A
see
profile
everything
for that
he
person.
created.
Yeah. Cool.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that
This
was
is awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Excuse me.
This is great. Anybody have any questions? Haptamu, you got a question?
Yeah, I heard you say you use the context
Mhm.
and okay, so you use for authorization for like
Yeah, so it basically set the state of being logged in and then set who the active user was. And then it just wraps the entirety of the app with the logged in user information.
oh nice. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. And that was a lot of Google. I watched Jonathan's his presentation to figure out the login reg stuff. And then he also went in to use context with like a simpler version. And so I kind of had to figure out that portion, but yeah.
Yeah, that help for user. You only have that since user jump in different pages so that you don't have to create with use states, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I had it as just a state on each component, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is redundant. I could do this in a different way, and so I moved it to context. I remembered just a very small amount of that lecture because that was exam week. So
If you don't mind, like go to the model and see the user model and the relationship with the object.
yeah, so the user model here, And
Uh-huh.
then the
The-
confirm password is held in virtual because it doesn't want to we don't want to store it in the DB.
Uh-huh.
So it's
So
held outside of it.
how that user know, like, with that object that you trying to create the fly or the
Oh yeah,
hive?
yeah. That is a form.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, so yes, this right here. So we're passing in the user through context here. And
Okay.
then I'm just passing in the user ID for created by.
Awesome. Nice. Thank you.
Sure thing. Cool.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Colton. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Looks so fly. I love it. I love it. Okay. Last person is Daniel.
Hello. How do I share my video?
Just at the
Am
bottom.
I in a classroom right now?
Yeah, I was just
It
sorry. I
threw
was
me
just,
off.
I was
I
just
thought I was
testing
tripping
this
too.
out.
I'm like, what just happened here? That's
I
pretty sweet.
I saw like a new view and it was like immersive and I was like, what does that mean? It did the class and I was like, whoa, I didn't know it was going to change for you guys. My bad. It's funny.
All right.
Whoa, this is wild. Okay.
It works.
I liked it. Put it back, man.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, I'm on it. Okay. Go ahead,
Okay.
Daniel, my friend.
All right, I'll try and be quick. So this is the 3D print marketplace. It's just a basic marketplace I used. I built it with Python. Definitely need to hammer out a bunch of more styling because everyone else is on point with theirs. But just to check, pretty much has validations for when you're signing up, as well as when you're logging in. Just gonna put this in really quick. So originally I wanted to, I have some friends that attend like a craft show every weekend and they sell their 3D printed products on their free time. I wanted to make an application that they could use to post their products, but then I kind of changed it and made it into like a bazaar type of marketplace. So pretty much there's a poster and they could post like products and only they can edit or delete them. I added like a add to cart feature. So still need to work on like a checkout and a categories for the entire application. Which would be nice in the future, as well as maybe hammering out, like I said, more styling. But yeah, so there's also like you could just click more and then it would tell you, the type of filament. I was hoping to add something else on the side, like what filament exactly and how much quantity of that filament was used. But yeah, so like I said, only like the poster could edit or delete. So if you wanted to make a new product, let's just say,
You shall not pass.
So, that was another problem I was running into is rendering images. I found out about iframe, but it's just, I know it's a little tacky with I wanted the poster to be able to put their link to the image address, but at the same time it was just I was having a little trouble because I didn't want to build like a static library of images, so I used iframe, which was two of the problems that I was running into was figuring out how to use a Jinja for loop to allow just the poster to edit and remove their product, which is just right there. And then the way I used the iframe was just the iframe tag, and then I put in, the poster's link, and that's pretty much all I did with that. But
Sure.
hopefully I could hash that out and figure out you know, a better way to render the images in the future. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, this is awesome. And as somebody, I'm like slowly getting into 3D printing. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with 3D printing and selling stuff, and people are very creative with it. So this is
Right. Yeah.
a really cool idea. Once I saw you put that in the sort of description, I was like, "Ooh, that's a good idea." Because it's not really, there's like one or two, but there's a lot of blue ocean, as they say. So that's
Right.
really awesome.
Yep.
Great. Any questions for anybody or from anybody? You wrote this in Python, right?
Yep, Python. Yeah,
Awesome. This is cool.
I dig it, man. It looks good.
appreciate it.
Keep working on it.
Oh yeah, it definitely needs work.
Yeah. It is one of those things that you know, you said that you wanted your friends to be able to utilize and use it. That's really awesome because having something like that, you know, again, makes you want to work on it more and be a part of it and make it better. And then also just have built-in users to test, which rules. So
Right.
that's really cool. Really, really great. Awesome. Okay. So I will stop the recording there.